Hi, hello, my dear students. A very good evening to all of you. So, warm welcome to Tiritium. So, please remember our brand Epmaster has been changed to the name Tirito. Now onwards, we can call our brand as Tiritium. So, remember that. So, Epmaster is nothing but Tirito. Both are same. So, just brand name is changed. The remaining all are same. Your login ID or your password, everything is same, and the classes, examination system, everything is same except the brand name. So, previously we have called our brand as Epmaster. Now onwards we can call our brand as Tirito. Okay, so both are same. Now let us come to the subject. In the last class we discussed the greatest integer function. So, just we discussed the definition of greatest integer function. So, what the greatest integer function? So, what the greatest integer function? If x is any real number, then the greatest value that cannot exceed the x is known as the greatest integer function, or this is also known as step function, and we can denote that by taking square bracket, and within that bracket you can take x. So, that is the definition of greatest integer function or step function. So, today we are going to discuss the properties of greatest integer function or step function. Now, let us start the class. So, number system, number theory or theory of numbers all are same. Now, look at this. So, properties of greatest integer function. So, if x is any real number, then we can denote the greatest integer function. If x is any real number, then we can denote the greatest integer function like this. So, we can read this as step x. So, already I told you this is not a normal bracket. So, how can we know whether this is a bracket or greatest integer function? So, if the problem is related to the greatest integer function, clearly in the problem they mention where this bracket represents the greatest integer function. If they do not mention, then we can take that as just normal bracket only. If they mention like this, where this bracket represents greatest integer function, then we have to consider that as greatest integer function, and we can read that as step x. So, if we have step 3.5, then we can take this is 3. If negative numbers are there, for example, if we have minus 12.9, we can take the number before minus 12.9, that is minus 13. If only integer is there, for example, if 0 is there, we can take that is 0 only. If we take negative integer minus 7, then we can take that is minus 7 only. So, if we have the positive integer, positive real number like this, integer plus fraction, then we have to take the integral part only. In 3.5, 3 is the integral part, 0.5 is the fractional part. If we take minus 12.9, step minus 12.9, in step minus 12.9, clearly minus 12 is the integer and 9 is the fractional part. The number before minus 12.9 is minus 13. Next, if you take exactly integer, so step 0 equal to 0 only, step minus 7 equal to minus 7, step minus 100 equal to minus 100. So, that is the definition. Now, we are discussing the properties of step function or greatest integer function. If you take the first property, so step x is less than or equal to x. So, we can read this as step x. So, we can read this as step x or greatest integer of x. So, that is very lengthy. So, it is better to read that as step x. So, according to this property, step x is less than or equal to x. So, if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, according to this property, step 3.5 is less than or equal to 3.5. If we suppose that x equal to 3.5, if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, according to this property, step x less than or equal to x. Step x less than or equal to x. Step x means step 3.5 less than or equal to 3.5, but here only one symbol will be taken, that may be either less than or equal. So here step 3.5 is nothing but 3 only, that is clearly less than 3.5. If you take x is an integer, in this case these two are equal. Step x is less than x when x is not an integer. Step x equal to x when x is an integer. Here if you take x is not an integer, if you suppose that x equal to 3.5, step 3.5 can be written according to this as 3 less than 3.5. Clearly we know 3 is less than 3.5. If you take x is an integer, if you suppose that here we have x equal to 0, in this case step 0 equal to 0 only, so that equal to x, so that is 0. So if x is an integer, then we can say step x equal to x. If x is not an integer, then we can say step x less than x. Let's take the second property. Step x less than or equal to x less than step x plus 1. Step x less than or equal to x less than step x plus 1. Here also if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, step 3.5 less than or equal to 3.5 less than step 3.5 plus 1. Step 3.5 is nothing but 3 only, less than or equal to, this is 3.5. Here step 3.5 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. Here also we have to take an less than only. Here also we can take that is less than only. So clearly by observing 3 less than 3.5 and 3.5 less than 4. If x is not an integer, if x is not an integer, we can say step x less than step x plus 1. If x is an integer, if x is an integer, if you suppose that x equal to some 5, if you suppose that x equal to some 5, now step 5 is less than or equal to 5 less than step 5 plus 1. Step 5 is nothing but 5 only. Here less than or equal to means we have to take 5. 5 less than 5, that is meaningless. Any number is equal to itself only, that cannot be less than or greater than. So less than, here step 5 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. So 5 equal to 6. Here we have the symbol less than or equal to. Here we have the symbol only less than. Here we have the symbol less than or equal to. Here we have the symbol only less than. Here step x equal to x if x is an integer. Step x is less than x if x is not an integer. So if x is an integer, then we can take step x equal to x less than step x plus 1. If x is not an integer like this, we can say step x less than step x plus 1. Next property, x minus 1 less than step x less than or equal to x. Here also if we suppose that x equal to 3.5 minus 1 less than step 3.5 less than or equal to 3.5. So here 3.5 minus 1 is 2.5 less than step 3.5 is 3 less than 3.5. So don't consider equal to, because clearly we can say 3 is less than 3.5. So 3 is not equal to 3.5. So that's why don't consider equal to. Don't consider equal to. So 3.5 minus 1, that is 2.5 less than step 3.5 is 3 only less than 3.5. If x is an integer, so if you suppose that if x is an integer means if you suppose that x equal to some 5. So in this property, x minus 1 less than step x less than or equal to x, if we suppose that x equal to an integer, that is 5. Now we can write 5 minus 1 less than step 5 less than or equal to 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, step 5 is 5. Here we have to take equal to, don't take less than. 5 cannot be less than 5, but we can say 5 equal to 5. So in this case we can say 4 less than 5 equal to 5. So that's why with respect to the value of x, the x may be integer or not an integer. If x is not an integer, we can say x minus 1 less than step x less than x, like this. If x is an integer, if we suppose that x equal to 5, in this case we can say x minus 1 less than step x equal to x. Next property, 0 less than or equal to x minus step x less than 1. 0 less than or equal to x minus step x less than 1. Here also, if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, let us take 0 less than or equal to 3.5 minus step 3.5 less than 1. So if you take x equal to again 3.5, 0 less than or equal to 3.5 minus step 3.5 less than 1. So from this we can take 0 less than 3.5, don't consider equal to, because by observing these two values clearly we can say 0 less than 3.5 minus step 3.5 is 3 less than 1. So step 3.5 is 3 only. So from this we can write 0 less than 3.5 minus 3. So that is 0.5 less than 1. So clearly we can say 0 less than 0.5 and 0.5 is less than 1. But observe, by observing here we are taking x as not an integer. Here we are taking x equal to 3.5, clearly that is not an integer. If you take exact x is an integer, if we suppose that x equal to 5, if we take x equal to 5, how can we write 0 less than or equal to 5 minus step 5 less than 1. So that is 0 in less than or equal to, here less than or equal to 5 minus step 5 is 5 only less than 1. But here we know 5 minus 5 is 0. So that's why we must take the symbol equal to, 0 equal to 0 less than 1. So that's why with respect to the value of x, here we have to check whether x is an integer or not an integer. Here you have to check whether x is an integer or not an integer. If you take x is an integer like this, so we can take 0 less than or equal to x minus step x less than 1. If x is integer like this, x equal to 5, in this case we can take 0 equal to x minus step x less than 1. Next property, step x plus m equal to step x plus m if m belongs to z. Step x plus m equal to step x plus m where m belongs to z. So if we suppose that x equal to again some 3.5, if we suppose that x equal to again some 3.5, here you may take x as your wish, but m must be an integer where m belongs to z. M belongs to z means that is any integer. That is any integer. So for example, if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, so if we suppose that x equal to 3.5, so we can write, and I am taking m equal to some 4. It is not necessary to take m equal to 4 only, you may take the number as your wish. So step x plus m. So step 3.5 plus 4 less than equal to, so equal to step x, step 3.5 plus m, that is 4, where 3.5 plus 4 is 7.5. Step 7.5 equal to step 3.5. So step 3.5 plus 4. So step 7.5 is 7 only. Step 3.5 is 3 plus 4, that equal to 7. These two are equal. So that's why if x is any real number, that may be integer or not an integer. Here I am taking x equal to 3.5. If you take x equal to 5 and m equal to 4, 5 plus 4, 9. Step 9 is 9 only, equal to step x. Step 5 plus 4, again 5 plus 4 is 9. X may be either integer or not an integer. X may be any real number, then we can show step x plus m equal to step x plus step x plus m, where m belongs to z. M is any integer. So next property is step x plus step y less than or equal to step x plus y less than or equal to step x plus step y plus 1. Here we have two values, x and y. So still this we have only one value, that is x. Here we have two values, step x plus step y less than or equal to step x plus y less than or equal to step x plus step y plus 1. Here if we suppose that x equal to some 3.5, if we suppose that x equal to, here we are discussing this property, if we suppose that x equal to some 3.5 and y equal to some 6.4, your wish. You can take the two numbers x and y as your wish according to this step x plus step y. Step 3.5 plus step 6.4 less than or equal to step x plus y. 3.5 plus 6.4 less than or equal to step x. Step 3.5 plus step y. Step 6.4 plus 1, where step 3.5 is 3, step 6.4 is 6, less than or equal to 3.5 plus 6.4. So 5 plus 4, 9, 3 plus 6 is 9. So that is step 9.9. 5 plus 4, 9, 3 plus 6, 9, 9.9 less than or equal to step 3.5 is 3, step 6.4 is 6 plus 1. 3 plus 6 is 9 less than or equal to 9.9 is 9 only. So that's why we can take equal to symbol. So here we can take the symbol equal to 9 equal to 9 less than 3 plus 6 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So 9 equal to 9 less than 10, 9 equal to 9 less than 10. So similarly we can check by taking the values x and y as integers. Here we have taken the values of x and y as real numbers x equal to 3.5 and y equal to 6.4. By taking the values of x and y as integers also, we can show step x plus step y is less than or equal to step x plus y, less than or equal to step x plus step y plus 1. Next last property, step x plus step minus x equal to 0 if x is an integer and minus 1 if x is not an integer. Two cases are there. If x is an integer, then we can show step x plus step minus x equal to 0. If x is not an integer, then we can show step x plus step minus x equal to minus 1. If we take x equal to some 10, now step x plus step minus x, I am taking x as an integer. So step x plus step minus x equal to step 10 plus step minus 10. Step 10 is 10 only, step of minus 10 is minus 10, so that equal to 0. When x is an integer, then we can show step x plus step minus x equal to 0. Step x plus step minus x equal to 0. If x is not an integer, so for example, if we take x equal to some 3.5 or if we take x equal to some 6.4, you may take the value of x as your wish. Now step x plus step minus x, step 6.4 plus step minus x minus 6.4, step 6.4 is 6. Next step minus 6.4 is minus 7. So 6 minus 7 is minus 1. So all these properties are most important while doing the problems. So step x is always less than or equal to x with respect to the value of x. With respect to the value of x means x may be an integer or not an integer. Step x less than or equal to x less than step x plus 1. X minus 1 less than step x less than or equal to x. 0 less than or equal to x minus step x less than 1. Step x plus m equal to step x plus m if m belongs to z, any integer. Step x plus step y is less than or equal to step x plus y is less than or equal to step x plus step y plus 1. Next, if step x plus step minus x equal to 0 if x is an integer and minus 1 if x is not an integer. So note down all these properties. All these properties are most important. So note down means just take the screenshot. Next, let us do some problems related to the greatest integer function. So we are doing the advanced model problems, one or more than one correct option type. So by observing this question, which of the following is correct or are correct? If only one option is correct, then we can take is. If more than one means are. So if we take option A, step 0.5, Here you are taking every bracket as step function only. Okay, so step 0.5 equal to where integer is 0, 0.5 is the fraction. When we have the bracket like this square bracket, 0.5 can be taken as we have to take the only integral part, that is 0. According to the option we have 0. So that's why option A is correct. If you take option B, that is 1 plus 1 by 2. Step 1 plus 1 by 2, we can write step 3 by 2. Step 3 by 2, 1 is 2 plus 1, 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 means 1.5. Step 1.5, step 1.5 is 1. So we have option B, that is also correct. That is also correct. If you take option C, step minus 9.07, by observing this is the negative real number. When the negative real number is there, we have to take the number before that. The integer before minus 9.07 is minus 10, but according to the problem we have minus 8. So that's why option C is not correct. When a negative real number is there in the step function, we have to take the number, we have to take the integer before that. Next, option D, 15 by 2. Step 15 by 2. So step 15 by 2 can be written as step 7.5. 15 by 2 means 7.5. So step 7.5 is 7 only. So where the integral part is 7. So option D is also correct. So by using the definition of greatest integer function, we can say options A, B, D are correct for the given problem. So take the screenshot. Next problem. Here, if step x plus x equal to 4 by 3 into step x, then the possible values of x is or are. Options A 2 by 3, B 7 by 3, option C 5 by 3 and option D 0. We have to substitute every option in place of x in the given problem. The given problem is if step x plus x equal to 4 by 3 into step x, then the possible values of x is or are. If you take x equal to 2 by 3, according to the problem we have step x plus x equal to 4 by 3 into step x. If step x plus x equal to 4 by 3 into step x, here option A is 2 by 3. So option A, in place of x by writing 2 by 3. So step 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3. So these must be equal. So where step 2 by 3 means 0 point something. So 3 6 are 18. So 20 by 3. So 3 6 are 18 plus 2 by 3. So step 0.6 means 0 only plus 2 by 3, that equal to 2 by 3. So that is LHS part. If you take RHS, 4 by 3 into step x, x means we are taking 2 by 3. So that is 4 by 3 into again step 0.6. Step 0.6 is 0 only. So 4 by 3 into 0, 0. But by observing where LHS is 2 by 3, RHS is 0. So that's why option A is not correct. In place of x by writing 2 by 3. Step 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3. So step 2 by 3 means step 0.6 plus 2 by 3. Step 0.6 is 0 plus 2 by 3, that equal to 2 by 3. If you take RHS, 4 by 3 into step x. So 4 by 3 into 2 by 3. So 4 by 3 into again 0.6. Step 0.6 is 0. So 4 by 3 into 0 is 0. By observing LHS is 2 by 3 but RHS is 0. So option A is not correct. If you take option B, in place of x by writing 7 by 3. Step 7 by 3 plus 7 by 3 equal to 7 by 3 means 3 2 ja 6. 3 2 ja 6. 7 minus 6 is 1, 10. 3 3 ja 9. Step 2.3 plus 7 by 3. Step 2.3 is 2 only plus 7 by 3. So 3 2 ja 6, 10. 0.33 is 9. So step 2.3, that is 2 plus 7 by 3. 3 2 ja 6 plus 7, 13 by 3. That is LHS. If you take RHS, 4 by 3 into step x equal to 4 by 3 into step 7 by 3, that is 4 by 3 into step again 7 by 3 is 2.3, that is 4 by 3 into step 2.3 is 2, 4 2 ja 8 by 3. But here LHS is 13 by 3, RHS is 8 by 3. So that's why option B is also not correct. If you take option C, that is 5 by 3. In place of x, by writing 5 by 3, step 5 by 3 plus x 5 by 3 equal to, step 5 by 3 means again 3 2 ja 6, but 5 is there. So 3 1 ja 3, 3 1 ja 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2, 20, 3 6 ja 18. So step 1.6 plus 5 by 3, step 1.6 is 1 plus 5 by 3, 3 1 ja 3 plus 5, 8 by 3. 3 1 ja 3 plus 5, 8 by 3. If you take RHS, 4 by 3 into step x. So step x means we are taking, that is 5 by 3. So again we can write this as 4 by 3 into 1.6, that is 4 by 3 into step 1.6 is 1 only. So 4 by 3 into 1, 4 by 3, where LHS is 8 by 3, RHS is 4 by 3. So that's why option C is also not correct. So ABs are not correct. So we can take directly option D is correct answer. So for one or more than one correct option type problems, at least one answer, one option must be correct. At least one means more than 1, 2, 3, 4 options also may be correct. If you take option D, so in place of x, by writing 0, so step 0 plus 0 equal to, step 0 is 0 plus 0, that equal to 0, that is LHS. If you take RHS, 4 by 3 into step 0, 4 by 3 into step 0, again step 0 is 0, so 4 by 3 into 0, that equal to 0. So by taking x equal to 0, we have gotten step x plus x equal to 0. RHS 4 by 3 into step x is also 0. So these two are equal. So we can take option D. So for the given problem, out of given 4 options A, B, C, D, only option D is correct. So if step x plus x equal to 4 by 3 into step x, then the possible values of x is or are. So in place of x, by taking 2 by 3 or 7 by 3 or 5 by 3 and 0, for the values A, B, C, for the options A, B, C, we are not getting equal values. So that's why we can eliminate the options A, B, C. By taking x equal to 0, option D, we are getting these two are equal. So we can take option D is correct option for the given problem. So take the screenshot. Next, let us go to the next problem. So next topic. So least integer function, or this is also known as ceiling function. So just we have discussed about the greatest integer function, that is also known as step function. Next, least integer function. Previously we have discussed greatest integer function, that is also known as the step function. Now we are discussing the least integer function. This is also known as the ceiling function. Both are same. Ceiling function and least integer functions are synonyms. Here the definition is, if x belongs to R, means if x is any real number, then the least integer greater than or equal to, then the least integer greater than or equal to x is denoted by this bracket. If we take x, if we take the bracket like this, then we can say this is the greatest integer function. If we take the bracket x for this, then we can take that is least integer function. So with respect to the bracket, we can say that is either greatest integer function or least integer function. For x, if we have the square bracket like this, we can say that is a greatest integer function. For x, if we have the bracket like this, curve bracket, then we can say that is the least integer function. Now if x is any real number, then the least integer greater than or equal to x is denoted by like this and is called the least integer function or ceiling function. Example, so 3.2 equal to 4. If x is any real number, here I am taking the real number x as 3.2, then the least integer, so greater than or equal to x. Here so many values are there, greater than 3.2. So many integers are there greater than 3.2. 4 is greater than 3.2, 5 is greater than 3.2, 10 is greater than 3.2, 100 is also greater than 3.2. But among all those integers, we have to take the least integer. So that's why we are calling that as least integer function. We know the integers greater than 3.2 are 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. Out of all those integers, we can say 4 is the least integer. So that's why we can take, so least integer function of 3.2 equal to 4. Similarly, if we take negative value, so minus 2.3, we know the integer greater than or equal to minus 2.3. So minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Out of all those integers, we can say minus 2 is the least integer. So we can take minus 2.3 equal to minus 2. If you have exactly integer, we can take that is integer. So this is the least integer function. So for least integral of 3.2 is 4. If we take step 3.2, step 3.2 equal to 3. But least integral part of 3.2 is 4. Next, step minus 2.3 can be taken as minus 3. But least integral part of minus 2.3 can be taken as minus 2. If integer is there, so we can write step 5 equal to 5. Again, least integral part of 5 is also 5. When integer is there, that may be either positive integer or negative integer, then we can write that integer for step function and least integer function. If integer plus fraction is there, for step function we can write like this. For ceiling function or least integer function, we can take like this. So if x is any real number, then the least integer greater than or equal to x is denoted by like this, and that is called the least integer function or ceiling function. So these are the examples. Now let us discuss the properties of least integer function. Here the first one is least integral part of x equal to step x equal to x if x is integer, step x plus 1 if x not equal, if x is not an integer. Here I is nothing but integer. Actually the set of integers is denoted by capital Z or I. So least integral part of x equal to step x equal to x if x is an integer. For example, if you take x equal to 3, so least integral part of 3 is 3, step 3 is also 3 if x is belongs to I. If you take x equal to some 3.5, least integral part of 3.5 is 4. Here 3.5 plus 1, step 3.5 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So when x is not an integer, so least integral part of x can be written as step x equal to x when x is an integer. If x is not an integer, then we can express least integral part of x as step x plus 1. Next property, least integral part of x plus least integral part of minus x when x is an integer 0. If x is not an integer 1. So for example, if you take x equal to 3.5, least integral part of 3.5 is 4. Least integral part of minus 3.5 is minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1 when x is not an integer. If x is an integer, then we can write least integral part of x plus least integral part of minus x equal to 0. If x is not an integer, then we can write least integral part of x plus least integral part of minus x equal to 1. If we take third property, least integral part of x minus of least integral part of minus x equal to 2x if x is an integer, and 2 into least integral part of x minus 1 if x is not an integer. If you take x equal to integer, so for example, if you take x equal to 10, 10 minus of minus 10. So 10 minus step of minus 10 is minus 10, minus of minus plus 10, so 10 plus 10 20, so that is 2 into x. If x equal to some 10.5, so least integral part of 10.5 minus of least integral part of minus 10.5. Least integral part of 10.5 is 11 minus least integral part of minus 10.5 is minus 10, minus half minus plus 10. So 11 plus 10 is 21. So that is 2 into x minus 1. So when x is an integer, we can write least integral part of x minus half minus least integral part of minus x as 2x, x belongs to I. If x is not an integer, then we can write least integral part of x minus of minus least integral part of minus x as 2 into integral part of least integral part of x minus 1. So least integral part means if x is any real number, then the value of x, then the least value of x greater than or equal to, that is denoted by like this, and we can take the number. So least integral part of 2.3, that is 3. Least integral part of 4.5, that is 5. If minus is there, least integral part of minus 8.5, that is minus 8 only. If exact integer is there, then we can take the given integer as it is. So these are the properties. So integral part of least integral part of x equal to step x when x is an integer, step x plus 1 when x is not an integer. Least integral part of x plus least integral part of minus x is 0 if x is an integer, and 1 if x is not an integer. Least integral part of x minus of least integral part of minus x is 2x if x is an integer, and 2 into least integral part of x minus 1 if x is not an integer. Next concept. So Legender's theorem. So this is important theorem. Here the theorem is the index of a prime number. The index is nothing but power. The power of a prime factor p in n factorial. So previously we have discussed about n factorial. N factorial is nothing but the continued product of first n natural numbers. Small n is any natural number. Small n is any natural number, then the continued product of first n natural numbers is known as n factorial. To define the factorial of n, n must be a positive integer. Sometimes in special case we can take the factorial of 0 as 1. If n is a negative integer, then we can't define the factorial for that. So if the index or power, both are same, the index of a prime factor p in n factorial, to find that we have to use this formula. Here this bracket represents the step function. This is not a normal bracket. So this is the theorem, Legender's theorem. So just we have to discuss the statement only. So the index or the power of a prime factor p in n factorial is step n by p plus step n by p square plus step n by p cube plus so on. P must be a prime number. P must be a prime number. N factorial, n must be a natural number. So Legender's theorem means the index or power of a prime factor p in n factorial is step n by p plus step n by p square plus step n by p cube plus so on. We have to do like this up to getting the value of step function as 0. So by adding the remaining values, you will get the index or power of a prime factor p in n factorial. So let us take one example with respect to this concept. Now look at this problem. Find the highest power of 7 in 1000 factorial. Clearly this is p and this is n factorial. So this is n factorial, n means 1000. So where 7 must be a, we must know 7 is a prime integer. According to the definition, the index or power of a prime factor p. In the problem we are taking p as 7 in n factorial. N factorial means that is 1000 factorial. So we have to find the highest power of 7 in 1000 factorial. We have to find the highest power of 7 in 1000 factorial. According to the problem, we can take p equal to 7 and n equal to 1000. N equal to 1000. So the highest power of 7. So therefore highest power of 7 equal to, so highest power of 7 equal to, the formula is step n by p. So we can take that is step n by p plus step n by p square plus step n by p cube plus so on. Here step n by p means 1000 by 7 plus step n by p square. 1000 by 7 square means 49 plus step n by p cube. 1000 by 7 cube. So 7 into 7 49. 49 into 7. 7 9 ja 63. 7 4 ja 28 plus 6 343. 343 plus step 1000 by next p power 4. So p square p cube. The next number is p power 4. P power 4 means 7 into 7 into 7 into 7. So 7 into 7 49. 49 into 7 is 343 into 7. 7 3 ja 21. 7 4 ja 28 plus 2 30. 7 3 ja 21 plus 3. So that is 24. So 2401. 2401. So we can left this plus so on. So when the denominator is greater than numerator, clearly you will get by dividing the numerator by denominator as 0 point something. So divide 1000 by 7, you will get something. Divide 1000 by 49, you will get something. Divide 1000 by 343, you will get something. Take the fractional part only, you will get some value. So you can do like that, or otherwise we can explain tomorrow. The value of this is 0. So 1000 by 7, 1000 by 49, step 1000 by 343. So simplify that, take the integral part only, add all those numbers, you will get the highest power of 7 in 1000 factorial. But the value of 1000 by 2401 is 0 only. Because if you divide 1000 by 2401, you will get 0 point something. Step 0 point something is 0 only. By adding the remaining numbers, you will get the highest power of 7 in 1000 factorial. So you can simplify that. So dear students, hope you understood the class today. So let us do some previous competitive problems with respect to the number system in the next class. So thank you for subscribing to YouTube.